I'm Dr. Williams, and this is my podcast. I have 2 graduate degrees in psychology, am a licensed mental health counselor, and an expert in the area of spirituality. I am devoted to living my best life and am sharing it with all of you. I'm bringing my expertise, education, and life experiences to you through this podcast. Everyone deserves to enjoy life, and that is what I'm here to talk about. Depression, anxiety, grief, you name it, we all go through it at one time or another. I believe there's a better way to come at these things than mainstream mental health care offers, and I'm here to offer you my perspective and dig into discovering how you can feel good no matter what life throws at you. It is my intention to contribute goodness to this world, and the content herein is how I do that. But one disclaimer before we dive in. Should you decide to apply the information offered here, be prepared for improvements in your life. You may even live happily ever after, and you'll only have yourself to thank. This is Feel Good Now, the Dr. Williams podcast. Hey guys, this is a bonus episode. So it's Wednesday, November 2nd, and the Dr. Williams podcast $500 contest giveaway launched this morning at 2 a.m. with this week's episode titled Voting, What If We Did It Differently? Your entries have already started to trickle in, which is super exciting for me to see you guys engaging. And I wanted to do this mini episode as a follow-up to the episode on voting because I have something to share with you. So when you listened to the episode on voting, I explained in there that I was going to do things differently with the next round of voting. And I definitely did that. And I have to tell you guys that it was a really cool experience for me. This round of voting, Election Day is November 8th, 2022, and I've already finished my ballot. Today's the 2nd, and I'm ready to turn it in. And this round of voting was the easiest I have ever experienced. It was the most enjoyable, and it was super exciting because I learned something about myself. So I mentioned in the episode that I was going to try things differently and tune into my inner source to find my answers for each of the candidates that was running. And that's exactly what I did. And I received answers in the most amazing way. So after I meditated in the morning, I got my ballot and my pamphlet and my pen, and I went into my bedroom to where I could have some peace. And then I just further meditated for each option on the ticket. I kind of tuned into my solar plexus to receive answers. You may be familiar with Deepak Chopra, and I learned this from him, that when you have a question and you want to receive the answer to that question, all you need to do is ask the question and then tune into how you feel in your heart region or in your solar plexus. And what you do is you sense a feeling of comfort or discomfort. And in that feeling of comfort or the lack thereof, you receive your answer. So obviously a feeling of comfort would be a yes, and a feeling of discomfort would be a no. So that is how I did every single option on my ballot this time around, and I received an answer every single time. Now, something else happened that I now understand better, but at the time, I wasn't sure what I was receiving. And I know I haven't released my episode on meditation yet, so you guys aren't real familiar with my practice. The full episode focused on meditation will be coming here in a couple weeks. But what ends up happening when I meditate is my body receives movement from my source, and that's what happened in this voting process as I tuned in to how I felt for each option on the ballot. And when I meditate, my body usually moves in a circular, counterclockwise fashion. And I was receiving some of that, but I also was receiving some clockwise motion, which is more of a rarity for me. And I didn't really rely on the differences in the movement in order for me to choose my answer on my ballot, because I just kind of went with that comfort versus discomfort feeling. But then this morning, during my daily meditation, I was aware of my body movements and I decided to try something. And I started repeating the word yes, 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 yes over and over again. And my body continued to move in a counterclockwise motion. Then I started repeating no, 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 and my body started moving in a clockwise motion. Now, if you don't meditate, or if you do and you do not receive movement in the way that I'm describing this to you, you may feel a little reluctant to believe that I am receiving answers from my inner being in a yes or no, straightforward way based on this movement in my body. But I am telling you that is what happened. And I really don't feel like I have to convince anyone. I know it's true for me. And it was amazing and it was super cool. And it has changed my whole outlook on any kind of question that I may have. When it comes to a yes or no, I can use that technique to get me to an answer, and I can still tune into how I'm feeling about it to know if it's something that aligns with my inner being or not. I really can't emphasize enough how amazing that realization was, because I know that we all have this ability to tune into infinite intelligence. And I'm fine-tuning that communication because this is something I'm practicing on a daily basis. And now that I realize that that communication is evolving, that is priceless. Looking back, I realized that my inner being was communicating a yes or no answer to me while I was doing my voting process, even though at that moment when I was doing it, I didn't realize that was happening, but now I do. So, as I mentioned in the episode on voting, back in August, when I first recorded it, and I was talking about suggestions for how I was going to do the process differently, which I did this November. Even that process of doing things differently has led me to further evolve that process to where the next round of voting I'm really excited for, because it's going to be super easy and I'm confident in it. And I know it aligns with the one person that I can trust over anyone else in guiding me. And that's me. I know how to tune into my higher self to know which direction to take my voting. And that's pretty cool. That's it. Just a short little mini episode for you guys as a follow-up on the episode that I did on voting. If any of you feel inclined to try these suggestions that I have offered to you, and you want to reach out to me and let me know how it went for you, I'm all ears. I really, really want to know if what's working for me is also working for you, or if you found something else that works really well for you. I want to know about that too, because this is the fun process of life and learning who we are and tuning into it and having that confidence and that exhilaration that only comes from alignment. That concludes this episode, but if you don't want to wait for the next episode to come out, I have more for you at drwilliamspodcast.com. You can learn more about me and my journey to podcasting, find all the ways to connect with me on social media, and there's a button to subscribe so you're the first to know what's new and upcoming. You also can shoot me an email at hello@drwilliamspodcast.com. You are so special to me, and your support does not go unnoticed. I want to support you too. This podcast is my outlet for growth, because when you teach something, you hold yourself accountable and apply the information in life. But the inspiration for these episodes comes in a variety of ways, and one of those is through you. I want you to feel like this is your show too. So send me a message and let me know which episode is your favorite and why. And tell me if there's a topic you'd want to hear me talk about. Your feedback applies to so many people, and your suggestion could change someone's life for the better. The best way to do this is by subscribing to the show and leaving a review through your favorite podcast platform. I really listen to you guys, and this dialogue feeds my soul. You say that you're a fan of me, but truth be told, I am a fan of yours. Everything is working out for each of us, and we're all in this together.